That's bomb, Nate.
From the sandbox to playing sandlot, morning walks to the bus stop. From bologna sandwiches to sugar water, candles lit when the lights off. But look at us now, look at us now, look at us now, look at us now. From the sandbox to playing sandlot, morning walks to the bus stop. From bologna sandwiches to sugar water, candles lit when the lights off. But look at us now, look at us now. Look at us now, look at us now. I done came down, putting on for my town.
From the other day, though. We still got that footage from the other day. I still throw it in the
Water pump's great. Do you ride water pump a lot?
Oh, right. I'll show you. Come with me. How y'all doing? This is Kirschen Wolford live with the NPR Consider This podcast. And I am here with Grant Johnson.
Yup, Cowboy Johnson.
Cowboy Johnson.
Yeah.
And we are here at the Johnson County Sheriff Posse Rodeo. And we been here all morning. And I just got a chance to see them in action. And I want to have a little conversation with my boy Grant real quick. Let y'all know what he's going into and what he's been up to. And give y'all a little insight on the culture. So Grant, where you from? Give me a little background on your family.
Me, I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. Went to school out in Mansfield. And my family background, you know, I come from an athletic family. You know, both my sisters are D1 athletes. My father was a D1 athlete up in North Texas.
So
and
tell me where everybody went. You say both?
Yeah, both my sisters. Well, my mom graduated from North Texas, became a teacher. And my sisters went to Texas State and Grambling State, the HBCU out in Louisiana. So, you know, one played softball, one ran track. I played football. That was what I was doing before calf roping.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. What kind of sports you played?
Football. I went to JUCO at Tyler Junior College playing football. And and that shortly after that, I fell into roping.
Let's go. So that's a perfect segue. So give me your insight from your perspective. What you think a black cowboy is, like if you were just to tell someone who didn't know anything about it?
I think they're originators. You know, we've been in the game. To me, it's nothing new. I grew up around, you know, black cowboys. It wasn't nothing to see something like that. But now, you know, I go to some of these ropings and it's like, oh, you a black calf roper? I tell people I rope, and they're surprised, you know. But in reality, you know, it's nothing new. We've been around for as long as calf roping, as long as training horses has been around. So.
And you said since like slavery times.
Yeah, I mean, black cowboys, it's nothing new. Black cowboys, a cowboy actually what used to be a derogatory term. And, you know, back then, slave owners, you know, they called black people, not only did slaves pick cotton, you know, we also trained horses, had to tend to cattle. So they would call them a cowboy. And it kind of transitioned into something cool, but that's where you get the term cowboy and horseman. You hear people say, you know, he has good horsemanship. So little stuff like that, but now over time it's become something cool, and you know, it's a good industry, and you know, something that should be well known.
And I see y'all, man, it look like y'all having a lot of fun. And you say you out there, your dad calf roping, so
yeah.
I see him doing a couple runs myself. He's 60 years old, getting it in.
Yeah.
But so would you say that it's a tight-knit community? Let's speak on like the sort of camaraderie aspect, or if it's there. Like I said, I find it hard to believe that y'all not all close together. Like kind of know each other.
In the industry-wise, as far as black cowboys, you know, people host rodeos, but honestly, it's not directly, you know, like only black people are there. It's just a community. The Western community is a whole, you know. But I mean, yeah, it's a lot of black cowboys. We come out here, people host them around DFW. You know, they'll post them on social media, and we'll all come to a location and compete.
And so I seen you talking to one of your fellow colleague out here, fellow cowboy, and he was saying that like he travels to events. Like,
Yeah,
I think I kind of was ear hustling a little bit.
Yeah.
I seen y'all was saying like he said he went to Denver. Like,
Yeah.
Like y'all really travel for the events.
Yeah, it gets deep. I mean, as far as calf roping and rodeo in general, it's so much. It's a I want to say worldwide type of thing, but it's an open world, you know. So there's ropings in different states that you can go to, as far as pros and stuff like that, and even just competing, you can still go to them, and as long as you have the money enter up, they'll give you a shot. So, yeah.
Okay, so since we got into the whole competition talk, let's speak to like PBR. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still sort of like underexposed to the whole industry myself. So
Yeah.
let's talk about like the livestock industry and how that industry is something that a lot of people don't know about it, but if you do know about it,
Yeah.
you know it's a booming industry.
Yeah, livestock, I mean, PBR is professional bull riding, and then there's livestock like cattle you see here. But I'm just dealing with these, you know. I feel like you got to be a little thrown off to be riding a bull.
I got you.
But
What make you say that though, Greg?
I mean, it's dangerous. You're dealing with a 1,000-pound animal that can, you know, literally, I've seen people get hurt, you know, like carried off in a gurney. So, you know, it's dangerous, but people love it. You know, if you love it, you'll be able to get through that. But
Let's talk about like as far as trading livestock. Like,
yeah, as far as like the community and the market cattle, you know, it varies depending on the cow and, you know, the size of it. But you range from $100 to, you know, $900 depending on the animal that you're getting. And
you can sort of enter those horses and certain cattle into like competitions, right?
yeah, there's a competition out in Fort Worth, I believe, and it was just showing bulls, whoever has the cleanest bull, and, you know, they doctor the bull, feed them and shave them, give them haircuts and stuff. And that cow sold for $300,000. You know, people don't even make that in a year, 2 years. Shoot, so that's a good deal.
Nah, for real. So enlighten me a little bit on trail rides, cause like I said,
Man.
I grew up in Dallas, Texas, in the city, and I saw like I literally would see horsemen riding around the street, like on the concrete.
Yeah.
But I would always see them riding in packs, so they looked like they was heading somewhere.
Yeah.
So I ain't even know what a trail ride was. So sort of,
Yeah. I mean,
enlighten me.
trail rides too, it's a good thing. Over time, it's turning into like, it's been around for years, but trail rides now, they're getting bigger and bigger. You're seeing more organizations do them, and they're just basically a big open field party. Horse people get together, have a good time. You know, they bring their RZRs, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, and
it's
just
like
have a good
start
time.
location too, though, like,
Yeah, it's basically like a field, and you would start there, then the trail ride. Sometimes it's a road, you know.
pregame.
Yeah, but it's basically your pregame, have a good time, party, go on the ride, and then you come back, and it leads back to the field, and then, you know, you might throw a little party there too, nighttime. Oh yeah, it's as long as it's going on.
One other thing I want to get into before we wrap it up, like, is this your first calf roping event, right?
Nah, man. Like I said, I'm about 2 years in, but today we're out here at Johnson County Sheriff Posse, and I had 2 runs in the triple O, and but no, I mean, I'm still learning day by day, event by event, and you know, it's just, you know, a progression thing. Just
Let's talk about like, how you feel when you on the horse, like doing your runs. Like, you be nervous.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, you get anxious. Like I'm an athlete, so I enjoy to be under pressure and, you know, just see how you perform. So even in this sport, I come from football, so that's a team sport. You're relying on other people to get the job done. But this, you can't blame anybody else. You know, you have a horse, a cow, which is different than why I love cattle roping, but if you miss a calf, you miss a calf. You know, you can't blame anybody but yourself. But I still get anxious. You know, I get nervous sometimes. And
what you mean by like miss a calf? Like, you know, like does that mean like if you get the lasso?
yeah, I mean, you roping your calf. If you miss the calf, you don't get a time because you got to tie the calf down. You know, the calf's still going to be running, so you got to catch first.
So I saw kids out
Yeah.
here. You feel me? Like, so what would you say the youngest person out here? Like, how old are they? Like the youngest person, what would you say? Just,
I mean, you got babies out here, and it's a family event. That's the good thing about it. I mean, people bring their whole families out here. You know, you have weekend warriors type deal. Some people just do it for sport. So, I mean, it varies. It's a lot of kids. You'll see kids running around here swinging a rope, helping push calves, untie calves.
And that's what I was trying to get at, Grant. I seen like a group of kids over here, like, and they look happy to be like unroping the calves, like. So, was you ever one of those types?
I wasn't. That's the thing. I was around it, but I would never get like. I never showed interest, honestly. After football, like I said, I'm an athlete. I just needed something for me to compete, and I kind of fell into the game that way. But back then, I mean, it should be 30 kids beating up a calf, you know what I mean, trying to get to it, so.
So, before we wrap it up, man, I know you just, you know what I'm saying, you just did your run, so you might be trying to get something in your belly or something.
Yeah, man.
You want to chill out a little bit, get a little drink in you or something. So, let's just go ahead and spend this last little moment sort of telling people where they can find you. What's your next event? What's your social media platform?
Okay.
Speak to the Johnson family.
Yeah. As far as social media, you can find me at Cowboy Johnson on YouTube, Instagram, one Cowboy Johnson. But I mean, they throw these events basically every weekend. I'm trying to go somewhere and compete and, get my horse good. Me and my horse Hoochie Mama. I didn't bring her out today, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look for it every chance I get.
So when can we look for you again, man? What's the next place we can find you? I know you say y'all had these every week.
It just depends. Really, you just gotta see who hosts them. Sometimes even, when it warms up a little bit, I'll start hosting my own rodeos. But I mean, you just whoever hosting, and it's somebody. You know what I mean? You might have to travel a little bit, but somebody around here is having a rodeo, and you want to get to it. So.
I appreciate you having me, bro. Appreciate you inviting
Thank
me
you.
to the realm that I ain't even know about, bro. So before we wrap it up, we just want to let y'all know that this has been Kirschen Wolford with the NPR Consider This podcast, and I am here with Grant Johnson. We are with the Johnson family, man. Family of horses. You feel me? So yeah, that's all, folks. Y'all go in, check them out. Tune in. These episodes will be dropping this Thursday, twice a month. So yeah, we signing out.
Heard you was sleeping, nigga, wake up. Busy catching Z's, I got my cake up. Running in New York, Brandon Jacob. Mama in my prayers, I'm a demon slayer. Tilapia, broccoli, bottles of green juice. No insure, no boost. I done gathered the troops. Running plays, taking scenic routes. Round 12 on the loop. Smoke around in my house, now it's time to regroup. But don't ever think we ain't. Black business on us. We done felt shit harder than this here, the corona. We'll just keep rolling. Pounds of marijuana. Call us what you wanna. Made it through some trauma. You ain't know before. Now you know. Now you know. You ain't know before. Now you know. Now you know. You ain't know before. Now you know. Now you know. You ain't know before. Now you know.